afternoon, fans. It's your weekly PB&Z Sports Chaos Show, your sports sandwich. And this week, we are fueled by a beer out of the True North Breweries in Ipswich, Massachusetts. The Midnight Snow Kicked. It's a black IPA, 6.9 ABV. It's a smooth tasting beer.
I like it.
I like it a lot. All right, let's get right into it. By the way, these guys, tap room hours, Thursday through Sunday. Check them out up in Ipswich, Mass. PB, shout-outs?
Yeah, sure. We are excited to announce that we have now 85 members. We have 850 views across our first 5 episodes.
Toast to you.
Yes, and we are hoping that by the time we do our next show, we'll have 1,000 views. And our new members from outside the New England area, we have Jocelyn from California, we have Destiny from Virginia, and we also have Michelle from Baltimore, and another international fan, Dee Dee from Lebanon. So thank you, fans. And thanks to your post, because we are going to talk about a subject or two that you've posted onto our page this week.
Okay, let's get right into it. So this week, we got some highlights from you around local sports. We'll get right into our talk tracks. MLB Sports Contracts. We'll talk a little bit about the latest signings. March Madness. You guys took part in our pool. We'll talk about our pool results so far, a little bit about what's going on in March Madness. And then, last but not least, so from you, the fans, what is the most unbreakable records in sports? We're going to talk about that. That's an interesting one.
That'll be fun.
All right, let's get started. C's, B's, NFL, right? C's, they signed Greg Monroe to a 10-day contract. Not sure that helps. They need a big man. He did something from last year. He is a 7-footer. I don't know about that. Bruins, 3-game winning streak. They're back in the right direction again. Marchand at 90 points has a shot at 100 for the year. Believe it or not, first Bruin to get to 100 points, if he can do it, since 2002, 2003. Do you know who that was?
Joe Fortin.
Jumbo Joe. You got it. That's right. All right. NFL, Rams signed Clay Matthews from Green Bay. Never thought I'd see that happen, but he's going back out west. Good for him. I think he'll be a big asset to them. Cowboys grabbed the guy we thought we might be able to get for a slot receiver, right? Randall Cobb. That hurts a little bit. Good for the Cowboys. He replaces what they lost in Cole. Pats also restructured Gilmore's contract, so they get another $5.7 million in cap space. That helps out a lot. And Kraft rejects a plea deal. I don't get it, man. Take it, get it off the news. We don't want to hear about it anymore. Don't let this thing dwell any longer than it needs to be, right? All right. Hey, PB, you got a little interesting fun fact for this week. The sports of Philadelphia versus Boston historically. I did not know some of this stuff. Tell us about it.
So it's pretty fun. I did some research. This came from a suggestion of a fan as well. Boston having 4 sports, major sports. Philly also having 4 major sports.
Okay.
So we can run down each of those. We'll start with the Bruins and the Broad Street Bullies from Philadelphia.
Oh, the 70s, yeah.
So all time, and I was surprised by this. The Bruins are 124, 84, and 21 all time against the Flyers.
Really?
Yeah.
I would not have been that big.
Yeah.
Wow.
And of that, 18 and 13 is in the playoffs, so 5 games over 500 in the playoffs. And the one thing Philly has going is the one time they met in the Cup, which was in 1974, the Flyers did win 4-2. Obviously, different structure of the way that the league was set up, because that couldn't happen today the way the league is set up.
Bobby Clark and the boys, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Next, Celtics and Sixers. That's the
one I thought, quote.
Yeah, I mean, lots of games together.
You can still eat.
At 319 to 234.
Celtics.
The Celtics lead that series. Almost 100 games over 500. Pretty impressive. Of that, playoffs represent a 58 and 47, 11 games over 500 in the playoffs.
And those early playoffs in the 80s that they had with Moses and Larry Bird and Andrew Toney, right? And Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale, unbelievable, right?
Love them. Sox and Phillies, not so many games because they hadn't played since they played once in the World Series in 1915. They didn't play again until 1997 when they started interleague play.
Okay.
So overall, they are 45 and 27, so 18 games over 500. The Red Sox are, and the one World Series they played in 1915, the Sox won that 4-1.
Okay.
So Boston over Philly clearly across the board, but there's a little good thing for Philly fans here. As far as the Patriots and Eagles go, they hold a 5-7 edge in regular season play.
Eagles, one of the worst football teams in the NFL for the longest time.
Yeah, so it's just a 7-5 edge. So they've won 7. We've only won 5, and then of course in Super Bowls it's tied 1-1. So 6-8 overall. The Patriots are against the Eagles. So fun. I look forward to doing that again with 2 other cities sometime down the road.
That's a good one.
Thanks for the suggestion. We appreciate it.
I like that one. All right. MLB contracts, right? This past week, Mike Trout signed an astronomical 12-year, $430 million extension. He's only 27 years old, so that means he'll be 39 when that expires. That surpasses Harper's 12 and 330, which was the biggest contract ever at the time. Which makes me wondering, Mookie Betts. Where does Mookie? I mean, what happens with Mookie right now?
Right.
I'm a little concerned
Right.
because the latest news is he doesn't want to talk about extensions.
Yeah, he doesn't want to sit down at the table and do his extension now. He's probably doing the right thing for himself. Wouldn't you rather have 30 teams vying for your services 2 years from now, especially considering these big contracts that just happened, rather than trying to look at one team? It's just you and the Sox sitting down and trying to do an extension. Mookie's doing the right thing. Will the Red Sox be able to pay him at that point? Obviously, there's no cap. It just comes down to profit and loss and luxury tax and everything else they have to consider at that point. But obviously, higher likelihood that Mookie's not here by him not signing the extension when 2 years rolls around. That's my concern.
It's too bad because they just signed Sale to an extension, 5 years, 145, makes him $29 million a year average, right? I would love to see Mookie consider having a conversation like Mike Trout did. Applause to Mike Trout for listening to the team, deciding to stay in Los Angeles even though you're a Philly and East Coast guy. Great for you because they gave you the break and you're doing wonders. I don't know. I'm hurt by that. I'd like to see Mookie listen now, and if they give him a great deal,
yeah,
because we got a team that could win for the next couple of years, right? And by the way, next week our MLB preview show, so we'll have a lot more MLB next week, right?
Yes, we'll make our predictions, and we're looking forward to that in opening weekend.
Okay, all right. Moving on. College sports tournament time. So we got the NCAA March Madness. We'll talk about that momentarily, but we also got college hockey going on as well, right?
Yeah. So we have the Frozen Four selection shows tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night for Frozen
Hockey
Four.
East finals are tonight.
Hockey East final. By the way, a big surprise in the Hockey East finals, right?
Yeah, Boston College. They've taken care of number 2. They took care of number 1.
They're the first number 7 seed to make it to the finals of Hockey East, right?
Yeah, and they're with that win last night. They're 14-21, and I think they have 3 ties or something like that. But still, if they win tonight, they get a bid. They're 15-21, and they're going to get in the tournament. And that's bad news for those teams that are sitting around, like Penn State, Notre Dame, Western Michigan. These teams that are kind of on the cusp of getting into the tournament. They're rooting for Northeastern tonight because if Northeastern can pull that game off, and that eliminates BC's, because Northeastern's getting in either way.
Yes. Plus the allure of playing BC, right? So if you're a team, you have to face BC, they're hot all of a sudden in the tournament, coached by, arguably, I think is the greatest NCAA hockey coach, right? And the statistics bear that out. Jerry York, 600 wins as a BC coach, but he's over 1,000 wins all time in the NCAAs. He coached 2 other teams prior to this. 4 national titles, 12 Hockey East titles. Why doesn't Jerry York get more credit around here, or anywhere, I guess, for that matter?
Yeah, well, I think the college hockey is a very niche group of people.
Agreed, right.
You're not talking about something that's got the popular vote. Even in the Northeast, where we claim to be the SEC of college hockey.
Yes, you said that
you're
before.
Still not going to find people that are going to know that kind of information or give that kind of props to a guy.
You walk on the street today in Boston, you ask 50 people, who's Jerry York? How many people say who he is?
Probably none.
None! The guy is 1,000. He's the most winningest NCAA hockey coach ever. He's got 4 national titles. I would argue in the Boston sports history, there's Bill Belichick, Red Auerbach, he probably Red first, and then Jerry York. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I know it is. It's just a different culture. It's a different group of people. That's what it is.
Jerry, keep up the good work. We love you, brother.
We do.
All right, man. So, March Madness. Whoa. So, Thursday was kind of chalk a little bit. We had a few upsets, right? Mm-hmm. But still, for the most part, it was not crazy. But then, Friday comes along. 8 out of 16 lower seed teams win on Friday. By the way, PB picked the biggest upset. UCal Irvine, a 13 seed, beating K-State, a 4th seed, right?
Yeah, and I got to move them on to the Sweet 16, too, so...
All right. Wow. So, hey, most impressive stuff that happened so far. I got Ja Morant in his triple-double. What do you think about him in the NBA draft, by the way?
I think right now you got to put him behind Zion. I mean, from an athletic standpoint, he's right up there.
They're both freaks. He's like Russell Westbrook,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, he could go number 2. I mean, he's a guard if you're looking for a guard. But from a talent perspective, an athletic perspective, I put him at number 2.
You know what? There are some people, because Zion, they're not sure he has a real position in the NBA, said he might even be potentially number 1. I could see that because I think he's a transcendent player. Although Zion, man, I love the dude. He's unbelievable. Still, again, he makes 3 highlight plays last night. All right. The other one it's kind of interesting to me, is this dude from UCF, this Taco Paul is his name?
Yeah.
What's he, about 8'1" or something like that?
Yeah, he's 7'6".
7'6". Oh, my God.
And he challenged Zion. He said, try to dunk on me.
So he issues a challenge to Zion Williamson. You can't dunk on me. What do you think Zion gets against him? I think he gets. I don't know. What do you think?
1.5 under over.
1.5 under over for Zion dunks over Paul. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Taco Bell. Good luck, buddy. All right. Hey, we had a good pool. We have a good pool going on here, folks. PB. Recap the pool we have on the PB&Z Sports Chaos page.
Yes, we do. Thank you for everyone who's entered our pool. And at this point, we have Christelle from Ohio, the Flying Hawaiian. She's leading the pack with 270 points, and that includes the latest result of the LSU game earlier today. As a matter of fact, Kentucky just ended as well, so I'm going to assume she had Kentucky. It's probably up to 290 at this point. She's got Duke, Zaga, Virginia, North Carolina in the Final Four. We have a random user. We have no idea who they are. We're just going to call him Rando for now. He's also tied with Christelle. He's got LSU, Baylor, Nova, and North Carolina in his Final Four, so I'm not really sure where he's going to end up.
Rando? Is that what we're calling him?
I'm calling him Rando.
Hang on. He's got Baylor, LSU, Villanova, and then North Carolina. That's not a bad pick. Yeah. What were you thinking? All right, move on.
Charlene from Pennsylvania. All our out-of-towners are the ones that are in the top here.
I see that,
Charlene, she's got Duke, Michigan, Virginia, and Kentucky in her Final Four, and she's sitting at 260. And then Tyler is
But she did have Marquette going much further, right? What did she have Marquette going to the Sweet 16?
She's going to lose.
And they lost in the first round?
Yeah.
I don't know, Charlene.
A little bit. Yeah.
All right.
And then Tyler out of Denver, he's also at 260, but he's got a rough Final Four, too. He's got Michigan as the champ, which, that's a real outside shot there. But there's other 3, Virginia Tech, Nova, and Kansas. I'm not sold on those 3 now.
Tyler, brother, what again? Virginia Tech, Villanova, and Kansas in the final? Is marijuana legal out there?
It is.
Okay, and now I understand why. All right. And by the way, I think Charlene, she actually might look the best at this point in time, other than one of our co-hosts. What's our co-host have?
It's Rick. I don't know. You're up to. I'm only 20 points behind you, but you're doing pretty well.
And I am the only one with 15 of my Sweet 16 teams left. But I have to rely on Michigan beating Gonzaga and Tennessee over VA. I think those are 2 risky picks. We'll see. We'll see. By the way, PB, you did, as I said earlier, you had the biggest upset pick with UCal Irvine, but you got some work to do, brother. Who do you get in the Final Four again?
Jeez, I don't know. I know I have Florida State in the Elite 8, and that's what I'm betting.
All I know is you got FSU beating Gonzaga. I don't know about that.
That's what I mean. I got them going. But I got Duke, I got North Carolina, I have... Michigan, and I think Kentucky.
Okay. And by the way, Mrs. Daisy, we don't know what you were thinking, but you came in incomplete. Sorry about that. You must have not hit save. All right. Hey, let's go on. Fun facts. Real quick, we talked a little about NHL earlier. Did you know that Tampa Bay Lightning are 5 wins away from the all-time record in wins in the season of 62? I can't believe that close. Wow. The Bees got them 2 more times. But that record, guess who it's held by? And I'll give you 3 choices. Canadians, Bruins, or Red Wings?
I'm going to say the Red Wings.
You are correct. 95-96, the Red Wings.
And I did not research that.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the big one we have this week, folks. You gave it to us. This came in from the listeners and the viewers. The most unbreakable sports record of all time. We have a couple from the fans. We had Secretariat winning by 31 lengths in the Belmont. PB, give me a couple facts about that. First of all, what year was that?
It was 73.
And then what was the other little fact about that race?
So that race consisted of 5 horses.
5 horses? Okay.
Yeah, that was it. So, amazing horse, athlete of the year, did a lot of great things, won the Triple Crown, broke time records and everything else. But when you race against 5 horses, I'm not sure I'm there. A couple of the other honorable mentions, we had 56 game hitting streak.
Was this from our fans?
From our fans. We
Okay,
have a 56
56
game hitting streak.
That's
DiMaggio.
that's an impressive one. Joe D,
Yeah,
right?
The games played by Ripken. You got to put that up there.
Cal Ripken, 2,632 games in a row he played in. That is an impressive streak. That is monumental.
That is monumental. I think that's got to be up there as well. Phelps, 28 medals.
28
overall.
medals. That's an impressive streak. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's a
unbelievable.
good one.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, so those were mentioned by our fans. We have a few other big ones.
By the way, I love the little one that one of our fans threw in there. Most miles driven on Saturday in the rain at Bristol without ever leading. Like that one, thanks.
I try not to have any type of conversations related to NASCAR.
No NASCAR here at the PB&Z Sports Chaos.
But the conversations never seem to go anywhere. You know why? Because it just keeps going around in circles. I mean,
never gets old.
All right. So
what else you got?
So we have UCLA winning 7 consecutive titles in 88 straight games.
That is an impressive streak. By the way, UConn girls broke that with 90 in a row.
They did, right, on the women's side. Which is why I wouldn't put it up there.
There you go.
Oklahoma won 47 consecutive games in college football.
Yes,
what else? Celtics 8 titles in a row. Competition back then, 9 teams in the league.
I know that's an argument, but you know what? I say it's harder to do in that era because there's more talent per team than it is today when it's watered down. But anyways, go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I mean, you can make. I think the Golden State doing what they're doing now and winning 3 out of 4 and potentially 4 out of 5 they win this year is pretty impressive too.
Free agency helps to make that a factor.
Yeah. But I'll give you my top 2.
Go ahead.
My top 2. One is going to be Cy Young. And this is going to be non-modern era, obviously. Cy Young played from 1890 to 1911. But Cy Young amassed an unbelievable 511 wins.
511 wins?
Yes.
In his career?
In his career. And check this out. 749 complete games.
749 complete games?
Which means he had 238 complete game losses. I mean, how many complete game losses are in the entire major leagues nowadays? A couple a year, maybe?
Yeah.
And he got he had 238 complete game losses in his career. Here's some more stats, all right, with Cy Young. He only, despite all his wins and all his complete games, he only led the league once in complete games when he had 40 in 1899.
Wow, okay.
He only led the league twice in wins, 36 in 1892 and 35 in 1895.
So what you're saying is he's an average pitcher?
Back then. Well, no. Back then, he was in the pack with some other guys.
All right.
In 1892, he went 36 and 12. Unbelievable record. Guess how many complete games he had?
I have 42.
48. Every single game he pitched was a complete game.
48
He went
complete
36
games?
and 12, had 48 decisions, 48
Every
complete
game
games.
was a complete game?
Yes. How many complete games do you think was the top person had in Major League Baseball last year?
The most... All right, I would say 10 complete games by a pitcher last year.
It was actually 2.
Just 2?
Can you believe it?
What has happened to us? We've become a pussification world.
And the other, Will White. Never heard of him until I did the research. I don't expect anybody else to hear him. But 1879, he had 75 complete games in one season. So you could make an argument that record. Well, how can someone have 75 complete games in a year? I mean, in today's baseball, how can you pitch 75?
With all the supplements and stuff they take nowadays, back then all they did was drink beer and smoke cigarettes and look what they did, right?
I know. So there's a lot of it, but that's a different era. So I'm going to go modern era, and I'm going to look at Wayne Gretzky. I think Wayne Gretzky,
the great one.
He did,
all right.
the great one. He had 2,857 career points. That's goals and assists.
Wow.
Okay. Now check this. The next closest NHL player is Jaromir Jagr. He has 1921. Right, 900 plus points behind. Your highest active player right now in the NHL, aforementioned Joe Thornton, #1 overall pick by the Bruins in 1997 entry draft. He has 1,472. He's barely halfway there, and he turns 40 this year.
Another 40-year-old still playing.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's look at a couple other active players.
Okay.
Sidney Crosby.
Sid the Kid.
1,209 points. Okay, he's still 1,600 off of Gretzky. He has 93 this year. He turns 32. Another #1 selection overall in the 05 draft. Sid, even if he were to get 100 points a year for the next 10 years, that would give him another 1,000 points. He's now 42. He would still be 600 plus points behind Gretzky. Ovi, same thing. Ovi's older. Ovi's only got 83 points this year, so he's struggling to get
How
to
old is
100.
Ovi?
He's turning 34 this year.
That's all he is? He looks like 39.
Well, it's a lot of vodka, you know?
Yes, so obviously.
Number one overall pick in 04, he's got 1,205 points. He's only a couple behind Sid. But same deal. I mean, Gretzky is just far and above. And then look at a season. In a season, he had 215 points. That year, he had 52 goals. He had 163 assists. 163 assists, that's 2 assists a game.
And here we are talking about Marchand trying to get to 100, the first Bruins since 2003.
Right, exactly.
And he had 215.
And then he had 212 when he scored 92 goals and 120 assists in 1 year. So you look at the top 11 seasons for points in a season. He owns 9 of them. Lemieux owns the other 2.
Okay.
And then Lemieux has a few more. To get to another player besides Gretzky and Lemieux, you have to go down to number 14. It's 155 points. That is 60 points behind Gretzky's total.
Who wins in a fight, Lemieux or Gretzky?
Lemieux. Lemieux wins that fight. But Yzerman, it was Stevie Yzerman. Stevie Yzerman's the guy who's at number 14.
By the way, he played for the Detroit team that won 62 games that year.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, these numbers just stand out to me. I think that is the best modern day record that we.
So you heard it here. Most unbreakable record. Wayne Gretzky, 2,800 points plus in a career, 215 in one season, followed by Cy Young in the other era of sports, 511 wins, 738 complete games, right?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And then I would say third place would have to be Cal, probably with the 2,600 plus games played in a row. That will never be touched again, the way people rest nowadays. I mean, look at the NBA, right? You take a night off because you have a hangnail or whatever. All right. Any news on the curling front before we wrap it up?
Doubleheader tonight. Go Buttons.
And I understand you lost last week after challenging the All-Pro Sports
We
colors.
did lose. We played the team we beat for the championship, and we were up 5-0 on them, and we blew it. We lost 7-5. So it was
so a little bit of a
heartbreaking loss. We choked. Yeah,
All right,
but we'll come back. We got a doubleheader tonight. We can pull both these off. Move to 6-2 on the year. We'll be in good shape.
All right, just in, and we heard Kentucky won tonight. Way to go, Big Blue. MLB next week. We thank you for following us, fans. Keep it up. We appreciate it. Keep giving us the input every week. Have a great weekend.
All right. Good night.